Why can one gym charge $4.99 and another charge hundreds per month and both stay in business? That's not about fitness. It's about structure. And let's take a moment and let's sip on that. And this one is calorie free. You're welcome. In previous episodes, we talked about access and how gyms work when everyone shows up at the same time. Why crowded gyms aren't actually a mistake, and how the system is built around attendance patterns rather than individual use. In this episode, we're going to go a little deeper into the structure behind the gym and gym memberships themselves. By the end of this episode, you are going to understand how gym memberships are actually priced and what you're really getting for your money at different price levels, and why the difference between a low-cost gym and a premium gym isn't necessarily about fitness. It's about structure, capacity, and how the business itself survives. Because at first glance, it looks like you're buying fitness, but you're not. You're buying structure. Interesting, hey? Gym memberships today exist across a wide range. You might see an entry price around $4.99 bi-weekly. You might see $20 or $40 bi-weekly. And at the higher end, boutique gyms, specialty studios, or private clubs, they can charge hundreds or thousands per month, sometimes much more. At first glance, it looks like a simple difference in quality, but it's not that simple. Because gyms aren't pricing workouts. They're pricing access. Access to space, access to equipment, access to services, and access to comfort. All layered differently, depending on the business model and price. Every price point exists because the math behind every gym requires it. Every gym starts with fixed costs: the building, the equipment, insurance, staff, utilities, cleaning, and maintenance. Those costs exist whether 10 people show up or 500. The cheap number on the sign usually only covers keeping the lights on, and it keeps the doors open. The business itself survives on volume and on premium features, because gyms don't price memberships based on how often you go. No, they price them based on how many people don't. If a gym physically holds 500 people at once, it doesn't just sell 500 memberships. No, it doesn't. It sells thousands. Seems wrong, doesn't it? Because the system assumes only a percentage of members will be there at any given time. That isn't deception, that's probability. If every member showed up every day, most gyms would fail immediately. What a concept. Have you ever seen a gym sign say, "Too many members, we're closed at the moment, come back a couple hours later"? I've never seen one. You don't see them, because gyms don't operate on maximum occupancy. They operate on averages, attendance. And if memberships were limited to physical capacity, prices would rise dramatically. They would have to, just to keep the business alive. Instead, gyms sell access based on behavior. Some people come every day, some come twice a week. Some stop coming entirely, but keep paying. They depend heavily on that. The balance is what keeps the system working. Crowded hours are not a mistake. They're the natural result of the model working exactly how it was designed. Now compare that to something else. Let's use a doctor's office. Eventually, they'll say they're full. A physiotherapy clinic will stop taking new patients. Why? Simple, because those businesses sell time. Every patient requires a fixed amount of time and attention. And once that time is filled, capacity is reached. Gyms act differently and are different. Gyms don't sell time. They sell access. You're not booking an hour with a professional when you join a gym. You're buying the option to show up. That difference changes everything. Medical offices have a hard limit. Gyms have a behavioral limit. And that's why one closes its books while the other one can continue selling memberships almost endlessly. Once you understand that, the pricing starts to make sense. At lower price points, usually something is reduced. Maybe fewer staff, maybe smaller locker rooms. Usually limited showers or no showers. less equipment redundancy, fewer amenities. Not worse, just simplified, practical, cheaper. High-priced gyms don't necessarily give you better workouts or quality. They give you comfort. They give you more space per person. Usually, it's cleaner facilities, mostly less waiting, and has additional services like private classes, recovery areas, saunas, massage beds, and so on. These features exist for a reason, because the base membership alone rarely produces strong profit. The premium layers do. And another part of that structure that often gets overlooked is merchandise, protein powders, supplements, brand clothing, shakers, energy drinks, water. These aren't random items at the front desk. They're part of the business model. Memberships create traffic. Traffic creates opportunity for additional sales. Gyms depend on that. And those products often carry higher margins than the membership itself. The entry price brings people in. The upgrades and the merchandise help keep the business going and profitable. Every gym makes the same choice, either a large facility with many members paying less, or a smaller facility with fewer members paying more. One never completely outweighs the other. A big gym needs volume to survive. A smaller gym needs higher pricing to survive, as well as volume. Both models work. They just solve the same problem differently. And that's why two gyms in the same neighborhood can charge completely different prices and both stay open. They're selling different environments, not different results. And this is where people get it wrong. Cheap at the front door doesn't always mean value at the back door. That's a concept. If you save money, but by doing that, you're avoiding going to the gym, or you just stop going because it's uncomfortable, then the real value drops. At the same time, paying more doesn't guarantee results either. You're paying for environment. You're paying for convenience, not discipline. The real question isn't what the gym costs. It's what the gym allows you to do regularly, because showing up regularly is the only part that actually produces results. Gym memberships aren't priced around fitness. They're priced around behavior. Behavior, attendance patterns, comfort levels, and how much structure people are willing to pay for. Once you understand that, the pricing stops looking random and starts looking intentional. And that is another episode from DNA. In the meantime, please keep your coffee warm. We'll see you next week. Cheers. The follow-up episode, we'll be following up with airplanes and luggage next week. 2 more weeks, we'll be doing the final episode of gym memberships. We'll see you then.